Welcome to the Period Besties Podcast with Stasha and Katie. Think about it as chatting with your best friends about all the TMI stuff you've never talked about before with two period coaches who've been helping hormones collectively for over 20 years now. I'm Stasha.
And I'm Katie, and we're pulling back the curtain on what it's like in the world of menstrual coaching, from puberty to menopause and everything in between. We're here to show you how period coaching can save the day. We'll share practical tips and information you can put to immediate use to improve your hormones and happiness.
We're removing the mystery, ending the taboo, and shining a light on just how powerful period coaching can be.
So whether you need period coaching or are considering becoming a period coach yourself, these episodes are going to help you. We'll share stories, coach live on air, and bring smart, savvy guests to share their wisdom too. Let's start today's episode.
Welcome to episode 2 of season 2. So excited to say that. Period Besties Podcast. Today we are talking about our top 5 anti-resolutions. I know it's New Year's resolution time. Everyone's making them. Maybe have even broken a few by now. So we thought it would be a perfect time to give you some anti-New Year's resolutions. And keep in mind that if you're coming to our January circle on the 22nd, our community circle, we'll have a really great opportunity to chat, maybe work out something that is a good resolution for you, that's unique to you, that would actually support you in a way that I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week is not sustainable or good for your hormones. So if you want some hormone and you specific, maybe resolutions, goals, inspirations for the year, jump into our January workshop. But in the meantime, here's Katie and I brainstormed what of the top 5 things that we could share with you to bring the whole resolutions and New Year, New Me stuff down a notch. Number 1, it's not a race. It's like New Year, you got to go out of the gate, run. Oh my God, it's a new year. You got to kick it off. Get your first 6 figures in 1 month. It's just crazy pants. It's still deep, cold winter, or if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it is the peak of hot, lazy summer. It's not a race. You don't get a gold medal for starting the year off like a champion. It is a whole lifetime, year by year, day by day, month by month, whatever it is, but it's not a race. You want to create something sustainable and healthy and anxiety reducing, not anxiety causing. So just remember, it's not a race. There's no one that you're competing against. Just relax, bring it down a notch, take a breath.
And I don't know about you, I'm exhausted come January 1st. We've had holidays from Halloween to New Year's. I need a break. Mommy needs a break.
Yeah. I always close off my calendar the first 2 weeks of January because I need recovery time. I just need some rest after hosting, cooking, cleaning, engaging, being with people, especially as an introvert. All of the holiday stuff is just wiping me out. And I get to January 1st and I'm like, I need a break. So those first 2 weeks of January, I just take off as my buffer, rebuild my introvert mana time.
I started doing that too a few years ago, especially the first week. And slowly adding some things in the second week to get my body back into it, my mind especially. But I just remember just working in corporate and it's January 1st. It's that mentality. It's so ingrained in all of us. It takes a long time to ease into things. I have noticed such a huge difference in my own health, slowly easing into it and really thinking about last year, my goal was to add in more strength training. But January 1st, I wasn't back at the gym doing things. I was like, okay, let's figure out how I can do this. What time of the day makes sense? Really easing into it and making a plan so that it became sustainable versus the first 2 weeks going hard at it. And then I would have been exhausted and it would be too hard. And I probably wouldn't have continued as well as I did last year. I'm very proud of myself, but continued as well because I set myself up for success rather than instant gratification.
Yes, that's such a good point. Setting yourself for sustainable long-term success versus that instant gratification where you do it once and then you're burnt out and wiped out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love
Yeah.
it. That's such a good thing, which kind of goes along with our second tip, the realistic expectations. Like you were very realistic about what you could accomplish. You had that goal and then said, okay, but how does this realistically fit into my life?
And it was so helpful. And I've done that with so many other things too, not just with my health, but with my business. And I feel like at the beginning of the year, I stopped planning in December. I used to always plan my business in December for the new year. And what I've realized, especially last year, like I need to ease into January and then plan for me anyways. Because I kind of December feels I want to enjoy the holidays and the festivities, and my brain wasn't thinking realistically. And then come January, like easing into it and really thinking about what is the main focus? How do I want to feel? How do I want my business to feel? And that kind of overlaps with health too. Making New Year's resolutions on December 31st and then January 1st. Do I still feel like this? Like things shift and change, and I want to be realistic about it. And one of my things myself this year is really finding more joy in everything that I'm doing, and also being realistic with that and knowing that not everything is joyful, but finding more joy in kind of the mundane things that I'm doing that annoy me, like feeding my children all day long. Okay. How do I my kids eat all day? Everyone that's listening, they're always hungry. So I want to enjoy feeding my children a little bit more. So I'm trying to be realistic with my health, my business, also my family this year, and having a little bit more joy versus feeling like rushed around. So I'll keep you all posted on how that goes. But I'm trying to figure out this realistic expectation of all of that because we're so busy. We have so many things going on, but that's just where my head's at. And I feel like in January, it gives me a little bit more time to rest and ease into things. And then it like helps me be more realistic versus I noticed in December, I was making like these grand plans that didn't make sense when I turned the calendar.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder, I think, because I know I've done that. I'm sure a lot of the people listening have been there, done that. So I love that reminder. And it's also a good segue. You're really nailing this today to tip number 3. It's not all or nothing, right? It's part of that realistic bit where you were like, I'm not going to just go lift weights 7 days a week. That's not realistic, but it isn't all or nothing. Sustainability isn't, I'm just going to rip everything out and just work out 7 days a week. That's not good for you. It's not good for your hormones. It's not good for your health. All or nothing is a little bit like what our society wants you to do. It really wants you to push out there, go big or go home. All or nothing is unrealistic and it's a race. And we're not doing those things this year. So let go of the all or nothing mentality.
Yeah. And when we look at things, we're like, it's all or nothing. Then what do we ever do? Do we ever actually move the needle with our life? If we're looking at it in such black and white terms, all or nothing, 0 to 100, right? All these analogies that we can make about that. Again, I encourage all of you to think like, how do you want to feel versus maybe what do you want to accomplish or what you want to do? Because when you focus on how you want to feel, opens it up versus that all or nothing type of mentality. I really do feel like I'm a big feeler. Like, how do I want to feel? How can I feel this more every day?
I don't know that it's a Banksy quote, but Banksy did some art with it where it said something to the effect of, I need to learn how to rest, not quit.
Ooh, I love that.
It's something that has stuck with me. If you know who said the quote originally, or if it was Banksy, in fact, let me know. But it's one of those quotes that has stuck with me because, of course, things get overwhelming, frustrating, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, I quit. Obviously, this isn't it. And I'll take it from my experience where I spent most of my life going to marches, right? I lived in New York City. I marched in the Iraq war protests marches. I marched in every subsequent war protest march. I have marched in women's marches. I have marched in BLM marches. I have marched in all of the marches. And then we end up coming back to today and just how do we end up here? And absolutely part of me goes, oh, I just quit. I quit. I have spent my entire life. I worked on the Obama campaign. I was on the ground working to get Obama elected. Like, I have always been very politically active. I've always realized that if we want to take care of everybody in a society, and again, a society does better when we take care of everybody. If we want more money in the hands of women, all of these things, it's politics. What books your school will read is politics, right? Books are political. I will die on that hill. Reading is a political statement. Being literate is political. So I have spent my whole life working on these things. And then you come back, and I got to tell you, end of 2024, I was just like, I don't know, I can't do this. But that quote kept coming up in my head over and over again. Don't quit, rest. Learn how to rest, not quit. And I just kept coming back to that. And I just kept thinking, okay, I need to rest and really just disconnect from the news, disconnect from things for November, December, and felt better, felt the anxiety reduce a little bit, even though it still exists because the reality is still there. But that mantra of just, it's rest, don't quit, has certainly been helping me. And it is that all or nothing mentality where it's like, you either have to work full time, constantly, 24/7, business building, right? All of the business building experts are like, you work 24/7 for 3 years and then you can take a day off. No, all of that is just going to lead to you burning out. And then you'll have to quit. You'll be sick. You'll be miserable. You'll be bedridden, whatever, however it shows up in your body, because it will. And then you won't have any choice. You'll be forced to quit. So rather than all or nothing it, if it doesn't work the first time, I'm a loser, all of the stuff that we say to ourselves, it still comes up in my brain. Like, it's never perfect, but you have that moment where you go, it's not all or nothing. It's not do it 24/7 or quit. It is rest and continue.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I did the same thing. I got off social media. I took long breaks. Like, I would jump in to post something for us and then jump back out, really being more mindful of after dinner, not being on it.
Mhm.
And it really was helpful because, yes, like, now it's time to plan. Now it's time to figure out how we move forward and what we need to do to support our communities.
Yeah. Another amazing segue, support. Number 4 is get support. Well done. It's nice. We're nailing it. Yeah. Getting support is so important. And you can't go through all of this alone. Talk to your friends, talk to your relationships, your family, if they're people that you can talk to. I often say family is chosen. Blood or not, you choose your family. So getting support is really important. And as Katie and I have mentioned before, and as we will mention many times on this podcast, spending time with your girlfriends is good for your hormones. So get together with a group of supportive ladies. Obviously, if that one friend is poking and prodding and making you feel bad about yourself, they're not actually your friend, but getting together with people who are supportive, who cheer you on, who lift you up, who make you feel better, more hopeful, more optimistic, those kinds of things. Those are the people you want to be spending time with, and you make sure you cheer them on and support them and lift them up as well. But get support. There's no way that we're going to make it through these years without each other. So get support, help, join in communities. I know when I started my business, I jumped into masterminds. They cost money, but having a group of people who were working on the same goals made a difference. So I invested in support for really my mindset. The practical business advice was helpful, especially when I was starting out and just being like, I don't know how to do this. What software do I use? Absolutely. But really, more importantly, those masterminds were a place where we could go and chat and help each other and support each other and go, no, but what you're doing is really important. Like, you have to make this work. We need you doing that. Whatever it is, whatever you want to move forward. And even if you just want to have a happier, healthier year, like-minded people who want you to have a healthier and happier year. Because there are absolutely people who would rather just drag you down to their level. Misery does love company, but you don't have to participate. So find a community that will lift you up, that will support you, that improves your mindset, that reduces your anxiety, that makes the day better, and make sure you're spending time with that. Maybe it's a group of people that you're friends with. Maybe it is a little like play to play, like the masterminds that, I paid to be in, but whatever it is, find that support.
Yeah. And that's why I love coaching too. Like I love working with my clients. I know you do too. I always say, I am your cheerleader. I am here to cheer you on and give you advice, but help you figure out how to do this that makes sense for you, and just being in your corner. There's so much, I feel like we try to do so much on our own. And what I realized is the more that I ask for help and the more support I get, the more fun I have, the easier it is. And things actually come to fruition. And I'm not struggling. Like, I don't really want to struggle. Like, I do, obviously, I'm human, but if I can ask for help and support, like, I will do it. And this took me a long time to do because I wasn't really brought up that way. And I don't think many of us were or are. And support, I think, has been the biggest life moment in my life where I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to do this by myself. I can reach out to a friend. I can reach out to my community. I've hired people too. Like, you can see things I cannot. Help me decipher what is going on in my life and how I can move forward. We all get stuck once in a while. So instead of feeling like you're stuck and you can't get out of the quicksand, right? Ask for support. There's so many people here to help you. And to plug our community circle again, right? Join us on 22nd. I think this is going to be a really beautiful way to ease into the new year and really focus on how you want to feel and what support you can put into place to really help you along the ride this year.
Yeah. A couple of therapists have over the years reminded me of this several times. One of the signs of childhood trauma is not asking for help, is languishing in that suffer in silence feeling, is being proud that you don't need help, that you can do it on your own, even if it's something as dumb as like bringing in the groceries. No, I've got it. Don't worry. That constant independence to the point of really making it harder than it needs to be is a side of childhood trauma, right? I'm not saying like your parents were bad people. It could have been a school incident or something. Certainly was for me. But it's one of those things that if you find yourself refusing help, not asking for help, not getting support, not giving yourself the gift of community, of friendship, of chats, of betterment, of learning from others, of helping others, then you might need to take a little step back and see maybe what's been going on in your life that you haven't worked through yet, or if there's a trauma back there that you haven't acknowledged. So it's something I see in like everyone I know, and I understand like attracts like. I get it. I see it in myself. But getting support is something that was very hard for me. It is something that I definitely had to overcome. And it's something I see in coaching clients all the time. It's something I see in my best of friends, because obviously fiercely independent women are my people. But it's something that we come back to over and over again. Take a little look in the past and see if maybe there was a moment where you needed support and you were kicked to the curb, or you didn't get it, or you asked for it and you were shamed, or something to that effect, and move that forward, because we need healthy people helping each other if we're going to get through this as a team. So do that work.
Such a thing that makes so much sense to me. So much sense. Yeah.
It's a sticky point, especially for us, because women are supposed to work like they don't have children and parent like they don't have a job, right? Women are supposed to bring home the bacon, cook it, serve it, and clean up after it. We are supposed to do everything for everyone all of the time, sacrificing ourselves and our well-being constantly, never asking for help, never complaining. And that societal bit makes it hard. And then you have those experiences as kids, right? I talk about it frequently where I remembered at the age of 8, the first time I got truly backstabbed. Someone pretended to be my friend to get back at someone else. And I very distinctly remember, oh, I can't trust girls. That was the lesson I walked away with at the age of 8. Girls are untrustworthy. They don't really want to be my friends. They are just using me for something else. And I certainly went through high school being I'm just one of the guys, girls, that whole toxic behavior because of that experience. And then, of course, you don't ask for help. You don't ask for support. You are wary. And so get support, ask for help, look at those things in the past, and then bring those things forward. So, right, like those daily non-negotiables. So tip number 5, you need to have some daily non-negotiables. Maybe those daily non-negotiables are doing something like once a day journaling, morning pages, tapping. Maybe those once a day non-negotiables are something to help you overcome past traumas, helping reduce anxiety, helping get better sleep, whatever it is that can really help support you on that health journey, moving up and higher and better and more supportive. Work those into those daily non-negotiables.
Yeah, I like to have daily non-negotiables. I have 5. And when I first started doing this, I was like, let me just have a win every day. So I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to floss. I would put these things that I am doing already. And then I would put something that I was like really wanting to add in, right? Because I was like, okay, I'm already doing these 4 things. So at the end of the day, even if nothing else was done, I already did these things. And I'm going to be, and then the one thing I could really focus on, it was really an interesting mental practice of just being like, yes, I am taking care of myself. Yes, I didn't do all these things I thought I was going to do or get done, but I really did take care of myself on this level. Yeah. And I had a little, I don't anymore because it's more kind of in my brain. But when I first started, I had a little card that I would put on my mirror. So at the end of the day, as I'm brushing and flossing and all of that, I was like, oh yeah, I did drink water today. I ate protein. I got some sunshine on my face. It just helped me also have a better night's sleep, because I think at the end of the day, when you can look back and you've really nourished yourself, it helps your body relax a little bit more before you rest up for the night. For me anyways, it helps a lot with those anxious thoughts that wake me up sometimes at 2 a.m. And I'm like, nope, you did all this stuff. And it wasn't hard. It felt good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Go back to bed. But I love having daily non-negotiable, like adding in things that you are doing already, so that at the end of the day, you really we all need a win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We have so much going on. We have so much on our plates. We're pulled in so many different directions. It just feels good to acknowledge the wins and the highlights of the day.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I started doing something last year where I basically was like, I must include one bonus self-care in the evening. So whether it was doing the castor oil pack or doing a face mask or both, or doing a foot massage or doing a hair mask or whatever it was, but it was just like, I am going to give myself my evening routine. And in that evening routine, I'm going to start making a bonus space where whatever just felt like that feels good, or that feels fun, or that feels, so it does definitely seem to go with the cycle. I certainly can say that I lean towards doing the castor oil pack with a nice heated blanket or hot water bottle more in luteal, but rather than dictating, I just was like, you know what? At the end of the night, I'm going to floss and brush my teeth and take my vitamins and get off the screens and all of those everyday things. And I'm going to add in one bonus. So there's a non-negotiable in there that can rotate or change each day, but it just made it a little bit more fun for me to go, ooh, what am I going to bonus today?
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you're working with your cycle too. I think a big part of my daily non-negotiables is every morning I wake up, I'm like, okay, how am I going to get a good night's sleep again tonight? I think about it when I wake up in the morning, and I like work my day around making sure that I go to bed and I have my night routine.
Yeah.
And this is something that I've been really dedicated to because welcome perimenopause.
Yes.
We're going to be talking a lot about perimenopause this year, but really dialing some things in. But my husband like laughs at me. If you're already thinking about how you're going to fall asleep, I'm like, yes, like I got to figure out my day so that I have enough time at night to unwind, especially in deep luteal.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100% with you there. Everyone listening to this podcast, you're going to be going on a perimenopause journey this year for sure with Katie and I. It's a whole year. We'll have some ups and downs and some twists and turns for sure. You'll be a part of it. I know we'll talk about it in a later episode, but one of the things, little sneak preview that I noticed was my carb to sleep ratio. So we'll talk about that in the sleep episodes coming out later in the year. But yeah, even what am I eating and when, and how is it affecting my sleep became an absolute, I don't want to say obsession, but I was just fascinated by how significantly when I ate and what I ate could change. Did I sleep all night? Did I wake up? Did I not wake up? All of that. So anywho's it, absolute #nerd. We'll be getting into that. But yeah, those daily non-negotiables to help you sleep, to help you have a better day, all that kind of stuff. I definitely look forward to hearing back from you all. So 1, it's not a race. 2, have realistic expectations. 3, it is not all or nothing. 4, get support. 5, daily non-negotiables. I'd love to hear what resonated for you, what maybe you heard and went, oh gosh, I feel called out. Don't call me out like that in public. Maybe what non-negotiables you want to work in this year. And then of course, come in January to the workshop and we can help you work through those things and really tailor them for you with our thousands of client experiences that we've had. We're happy to help you. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what resonated with you out of this episode and what you're going to take with you this year.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear. And thank you all for joining us. We will see you in the next episode, and be sure to check the show notes and join us for our community circle on the 22nd.
A big shout out and thank you to our sponsors for today's episode, Period Coaching School and Katie Bresek Wellness.
Thanks to you, our favorite bestie, for listening to the Period Besties Podcast, where no topic is TMI. And of course, share this episode with your besties.
Remember to leave us a 5-star review, nothing less than the best for us besties, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
You can follow us on Instagram at Stasha Washburn and at Katie Bresek, or email us at periodbestiespodcast@gmail.com.
Check out more about us at katiebresek.com and periodcoachingschool.com. And of course, check the show notes for free goodies and extras that support this episode.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye for now, besties.